So when you first come up to the machine, you're ready to run a CNC milling job. You want to make sure that the person before you has left it in the right place. These arrows should be almost lined up here. The table should be almost flush with the little index arrow down here. And the quill should be showing about 1/10 of an inch of quill down from the head of the machine. If that's all happy, you're ready to start it up normally. So a normal startup would be turn on the breaker right there, pull up the oiling plunger right there, oiling continues as the machine is running now that it's on, but before we move it, we want to make sure it has oil to all the moving surfaces. It's one of the reasons this machine is still accurate after over 30 years of use. We made sure that we kept it well lubricated. Okay, so when we first come up to the screen, we see this. It says, there's a lot of language up here, but the language that's appropriate is push mode select to see the menu. Mode select is always safe to push. Okay? In this case, when we push it, we see that we're getting a fault. That's to be expected. The machine has not been referenced yet. It doesn't know where it is. So to check what the fault is, push the fault status button, and it shows us. It says the e-stop button is pushed. That's correct because the last thing you did when you turned it off was push the e-stop button. So we turn this and let it pop out. Don't try and pull it, just turn it a little bit and it'll pop right out. Okay? Push reset. Push reset one more time, and it says the axes need to be referenced. So none of these controls will work until we've referenced the axes. To reference the axes, mode select, jog is 0. Let's go back to the main menu. Mode select gives us the top menu. Okay, anything that's involved in manually moving the machine is under jog. So we push 0. And if we look down at the bottom of the jog menu, there's R for reference 0, which is how we reference the machine, how we reference the axis on the machine. So we're going to push R, that's going to highlight that. That means that's active. And then we can go through and click the Z, Y, and X buttons to the plus sign. And that moves the machine ever so slightly to line up with this. The machine's not actually paying attention to the arrow. When we left it there, at the end of each one of the motors that drive the machine, there's an encoder with a bunch of marks that keep track of how fast it's moving, but one unique mark that's an index mark. And what the motor's doing when it references is turning until it sees that index mark and stopping. Then it knows exactly where it is.